The sharpest Zenith picture ever.
Sharpest picture.
An all-modular chassis designed to be the most reliable Zenith ever.
Most reliable.
And now, computer space command remote control. 105 channels. Zenith's most advanced.
Most advanced.
Zenith System 3.
System 3.
Now, even better.
A storm-damaged house, and a lady and her plants have a problem.
Everything will be all right. I hate lying to him, but I haven't got the money to fix this. And you know how long the insurance could take.
Not with Allstate. Allstate has more professional claims specialists than any other company to make sure your settlement is fair and fast.
I'll call your contract.
That didn't take long.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
And that's a promise from us. At good hands, people.
Great news for your home at Sears Super Homeowner Sale.
Super values on many items like these. 20-inch designer bathroom vanities with top. Now $59.99 each. Save $25. Their matching wall cabinets are each $39.99. Save $10.
Get this versatile Sears Best 1-horsepower Craftsman sprayer compressor and save $140. Comes with spray gun, air hose, and air chuck.
Super savings right now at Sears.
Where America shops for value.
Lightning action in the ring, on the rink, and on the road. Next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern, the CBS Sports Spectacular takes you to Houston for the lightweight battle between Howard Davis and Termite Watkins. Then see top American skaters vie for top national honors as we take you to Fort Worth for the finals in the U.S. Roller Skating Championship. And finally to Monza, Italy, as the greatest Formula One drivers in the world go wheel to wheel in the Italian Grand Prix. A spectacular Saturday of sport. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Back live in New York, I'm Brian Musburger with Jane Kennedy and Irv Krog. Baltimore and Tampa Bay have just gone to overtime, but we have received several telephone calls from women down in Texas who want to know what's going on at the U.S. Open. Let's take you live right now. Tracy Austin beat Chris Everett Lloyd. There you see Chris in the first set, 6-4. They are now in the second set, and I believe this is break point for Tracy Austin. Let's pick up the sound with Pat Summerall and Tony Traver.
Down, Austin. New ball.
Tracy Austin has broken again. He's serving new balls at 4-2 in the second set.
Austin leads.
She won the first set 6-4. Chris Everett in quest of her 5th consecutive title. Something has never been accomplished.
Every time Chris has broken Tracy, Tracy's come right back to get a break back. Long.
15 love.
Chris has got to really work hard to keep it together now.
Tracy Austin would be the youngest champion of all time. Pam Shriver, by the way, was the youngest finalist ever last year when she lost to Chris Everett Lloyd.
That's long.
30 love.
I'm not sure why these arrows have crept into Chris's game the whole match. She's certainly made more than I expected she would. She's very tenacious, though. She certainly hangs on in every situation to make sure when she's in trouble, she just usually tries to cut down the pace a little bit and make sure it's to keep the ball in.
She's playing someone that's doing it a little bit better than she is.
Yes, I think that's the thing she feels she's going to have to make the openings and is trying for a little too much.
Call by Anita Shukow, who called the baseline ball out.
30-15.
She actually overruled the call on the baseline. Chris hit it and thought it was out and didn't play it, but she did hit the ball back in play. And then it was called out. Again, Tracy Austin picked the right spots. And we'll show you. Watch Chris now recover to the middle and then just down the line. And once she moved that way, Tracy was holding her racket ready and just went back cross court. Austin at 40-15, 4-2 in the second set. Austin won the first set 6-4.
Game Austin.
It ends now 5-2 in the second set. After Tracy Austin won the first set 6-4.
So, Tracy Austin, at the age of 16, can become the youngest champion in the history of the U.S. Open. We're going to get everybody up to date now on the football scores. They'll have a commercial to tennis. We'll take you back for the next game. Jane, let us now start with Seattle and Miami. 9-3, the Dolphins lead it.
3-yard pass. Bob Greasy to Nate Moore. The kick was missed, and then Von Schaman came back later with a 29-yard field goal.
And look at what San Diego is doing, an offensive explosion for the Chargers.
Fouts with 2 touchdown passes, and Woodrow Lowe a 31-yard run with the interception.
The Cleveland Browns, a winner last week in overtime, doing it again against Kansas City.
Brian Sipe with 2 touchdown passes, one to Reggie Rucker, the other Ozzie Newsome.
This is live. In overtime, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have just won the game on a field goal in overtime, 29-26. Tampa Bay now 2-0 on the season, downs the Baltimore Colts in overtime on O'Donoghue's field goal. So the Buccaneers jump off to a quick start in the NFC Central, and again the score, Cleveland 17, Kansas City nothing. That game is at the half. And, of course, the contest you're watching, how about O.J. Simpson? Touchdown, 10-6. Even if you're the greatest of Cowboy fans, you got to pull for the juice this year to come back and close out his career in glorious fashion. All right, the final you just saw live, 29-26. Tampa Bay downs the Baltimore Colts. Elsewhere in the league, Buffalo 51, Cincinnati 24.
Featuring 4 second-half touchdowns for running back Roland Hook.
Another final, 38-7, the world champion Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pittsburgh dominated this game offensively. Pastorini injured right arm, but the x-rays showed negative.
And Jane, look at what Steve Grogan did. 56 points for the Patriots. How many touchdown passes did he wind up with?
We've been having fun with this one. 5 touchdown passes for Grogan. 3 to Harold Jackson, 2 to Stanley Morgan, and 1 touchdown pass by the substitute quarterback Tom Owen to Tom Westbrook.
And Jane, they had 597 total yards offense. This was the game. Those of you who are watching Dallas, San Francisco, you saw the end of it in our pregame show. 27-24, Mosley got a second chance and cashed in the field goal. 28-19, Green Bay downs New Orleans.
All 28 points for Green Bay were scored in the second half, led by Steve Atkins. 12 carries for 110 yards.
And next Sunday, the doubleheader game on CBS. The unbeaten Chicago Bears come to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. What an explosion for Walter Payton today.
Walter Payton with 23 for 182 yards. That's 2 touchdowns.
And the team that last week pressured the Cowboys snapped back and beat the New York Giants 27-14 was the final there. And the NFL, I'm sorry, Jane, what did you start saying about the rookie O.J.?
I was just going to say that he's done it again. He's got another 100-yard game, 32 carries for 111 yards.
Oh, he is some player. The NFL Today will continue on CBS after these messages from your local station.
What happened to Freddie Prinze? Was it too much too soon or too little too long? Can you hear the laughter? The CBS Tuesday night movie at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
This is CBS.
Perfect shot.
Another brilliant shot. That Chris, they were hitting the ball really hard that time. Instead of having the serve clock.
It's 40 love, isn't it?
The record on some of these shots. They're very, very hard.
Those of you who've been watching that game, Tampa Bay defeat Baltimore, welcome to the finals. One of the linemen.
About a minute, I'm told.
Yeah, I don't hear the tennis. There we are. What is it now? Is it 5? Yeah.
5-3.
It's 2-5? It's 2. Along with Virginia Wade and Pat Summerall.
A little late stroke production on that last shot by Tracy.
Chris is hitting the ball a little more aggressively. You know, when she's down, she stays in there. Especially if she gets a little aggravated. She hits the ball harder, and I think she, you know, the adrenaline keeps her focused right in there. Another error.
Tracy has gotten a little bit cautious.
Chris is never going to give you a match, never. If you're going to beat her, you have to beat her.
Fine forehand up the line by Tracy Austin.
We're going to go back to start the second half. The remote will tell you how Tracy makes out in this second set. And then, of course, you will see Gary Ulitis and McEnroe for the men's final. But right now, let's send you back to Candlestick in San Francisco.
Well, with San Francisco leading Dallas 10-6, you would say that Dallas was sluggish, perhaps, taking the game lightly. Now it becomes a question of, can San Francisco hold on?
I think Dallas is fighting for their lives right now. The 49ers are playing good football. If the 49ers can mount a pass rush and not get hurt too much dogging, because with 3 and 4 men, they're not getting enough rush. If they can mount a pass rush, I think they can go right down to the wire in this ball game.
How can you mount a pass rush? In other words, you look at San Francisco, and it's non-existent up to the point.
Roger has all day to throw.
Yeah.
In fact, sometimes, Vinny, it's a disadvantage if you have too much time to throw. If Roger hits the intermediate passes, 16, 14-yard passes, I think he can go down the field.
And, of course, the big story right now, for the first time since October 22nd of 1978 against Atlanta, O.J. Simpson scored a touchdown. We'll wait for the second half. Okay.
Here's to good friends.
A toast. Here's to a vanishing breed. Bill Evans, bachelor.
The end of a perfectly good ladies' man. To Bill Evans, a free man. 13 more hours.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Low and Brow.
Speech. Come on, you guys.
You're beautiful.
It's official. Ford's answer to rebates, the largest incentives ever available to its dealers. The biggest clearance offer in Ford history just got bigger. See your Ford dealer and discover how many hundreds of dollars you can save on new trimmer LTDs, Mustang pace car replicas, elegant Thunderbirds, tough V8 pickups, vans, Broncos, Rancheros. Compare the total Ford deal with any other. You may well find it's the best value overall.
Quarterback for the Hennings for 6 points. That should work. Hi, I'm Drew Pearson of the Dallas Cowboys. And I can tell teenagers a lot of things about football on a chalkboard. But you don't really learn the game until you're on the field with the ball in your hands, making your own decisions. That's what growing up is all about, too. Learning to make decisions about everything in your life. But some things are more important than others. If you're a teenager, you'll be making a decision soon on whether or not you want to drink. We have an alcohol abuse problem among many young people today, and the consequences are a lot more serious than fumbling a football. Make the wrong decision about drinking, and you may find yourself out of the game. There's a booklet called Winning Decisions that can help every teenager make the right decision. To get your free copy, write Education Commission of the States, Box 687, Denver, Colorado, 80201. That's ECS, Box 687, Denver. Be a winner.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. Friends, rather than overwhelm you with a lot of somewhat meaningless statistics, we thought we would put the spotlight on what we felt were big plays in the first half. And, George, here are a couple of them.
Well, the first thing, number 22, Eddie Lewis, to run into the punter, Danny White, on 4th and 9 was a stupid play. You just can't make a play like that at any level of competition.
And it gave Dallas possession again, and Rafael Septien finally cashed it in with a field goal to get the game even. Then in the second quarter, Ted Vincent, a defensive lineman formerly with Cincinnati, laid a good hit into Tony Dorsett, who fumbled, and middle linebacker Dan Buns recovered Dorsett's fumble. That was a big play.
And in the second quarter, Gerard Williams was called for pushing Preston Pearson on 3rd and 7, gave him a first down.
And that led to the longest field goal of Rafael Septien's career, a 51-yarder to give Dallas a 6-3 lead. And then here was the big one, Steve DeBerg on a play-action fake to O.J. Simpson, and Dallas really went for it, and he hit Solomon.
And the reason that was so effective was in short yardage, and Solomon was lined up as a wing, and he got behind the secondary. So those were the big plays the first half.
And now we go to the second half, and Ray Wershing kicking off to Ron Springs and Wade Manning. Wershing, earlier in the game, had a 29-yard field goal, and he kicked the point after O.J. punched over his first touchdown since October of 1978. The kick going down the right side. Ron Springs will meet it at the 10, to the 25, to the 30. Spun and still on his feet and got to the 40-yard line. He was hit by Saraceno and then Cornelius, but he wouldn't quit. And finally, Bobby Farrell had to take him down.
I'm going to tell the Dallas fans one thing right now. This Ron Springs is going to improve their return team, their kickoff return team. He's going to make a lot of big plays. I like the way he accelerates. He's quick. He's got some size. He's going to break some long runs, Benny.
First and 10 from the Dallas 40-yard line. Drew Pearson moving to the left side. The running backs Dorsett and Newhouse. And there's Jay Saldi going to the right side. And Dorsett with Scott and Rafferty out in front of him, but he's dragged down by Danny Buns. And there'll be a flag on the play. A lot of movement by Dallas, and I would guess it was Jay Saldi who was the last man in motion guilty of the infraction. Pretty good blocking up front for Dorsett, but the Cowboys will be pushed back to the 35.
Motion. Number 87, offense.
So that's Jay Saldi, who was the last man moving, and he made his turn too soon. So it's first and 15 from the Dallas 35. Pearson is wide left and Hill right. Here comes Dorsett. And Dorsett will be wrestled down by 3 Niners. Ted Vincent, along with Scott Hilton and Dan Buns, who made the first hit.
They've been in that formation twice and ran the same play twice. It's what we call a full draw to Dorsett.
Well, that'll make it second and 10 on the Dallas 40. Dallas somewhat shocked. First, San Francisco took a lead of 3-0. Then it was tied. Then Dallas took a 6-3 lead, only to have San Francisco lead 10-6 at halftime. Second and 10 from the 40. Robert Newhouse. Willie Harper, number 59. Did a very good job of stacking up the play. Webb was then able to move over, but Harper was the guy who jammed it. He was out last year with a knee injury. All-American out of Nebraska.
Let's watch number 26, Preston Pearson. The Cowboys have their special pass offense personnel in. We always had trouble with defense in this guy. He can beat most linebackers. I always like to put a defensive back on him, not a linebacker.
He's the dean of the NFL running back, so he's worth looking at. 3rd and 7 from the 43 of Dallas. Out of the shotgun. And under a rush. And there is that pass rush, George, that you were talking about. Cedric Hardman was the first man, and then Dwayne Board. They picked him up from Pittsburgh. And Hardman and Board coming off delighted about things.
First rush of the afternoon. If they get that, they're going to be right in the ball game to the wire and have a chance to win.
Dwayne Board was a 5th-round draft choice this year by Pittsburgh. And look at Tom Landry. Anything but plastic. He looked a little angry over there.
Well, I don't blame him, because that first series on offense, the second half, when you're behind, you want to fire it up, get them going.
4th and 16 from the 33. Danny White.
Nice punt.
And he's going to hang it over to the 25-yard line. Dungy to the 30. And to the 35. Stepped out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. So San Francisco, thanks to that sack, will take over 1st and 10 on their own 37-yard line. And they're leading as Landry talks to Ernie Stautner.
You know, Vinny, we said at the top of the show, you asked me, did the 49ers have a chance? Dallas offensively showed no emotion, showed no spark. Now the defense, the Dallas defense, has to fire it up, turn the ball over, give them field position.
In his 20th year, the 5th winningest coach in football, Tom Landry. 1st and 10, they'll spot it at the 36. In motion goes O.J., but it's Wilbur Jackson out across the 40-yard line, falling to the 43. Aaron Kyle had to come up and hit him, and then Bob Brunig came over to give him a little help. And Tom Landry, for the first time, not just standing by himself, he's on the phone with Mike Ditka in front of him.
That's Jim Myers next to him. What they're trying to find out is what was the breakdown on their pass protection.
So it is 2nd and 4 on the San Francisco 43. Solomon is left, Seal the tight end on the right side. Schumann is wide right. And it's Wilbur Jackson, but he just ran into a sea of blue jerseys, and that's the end of that.
You know, one thing the 49ers wide receivers are doing, we did their game last week, they're throwing downfield. They're attempting to block, which is something you don't see much in those wideouts.
Thomas Henderson is coming into the linebacking position, and we mentioned earlier that Mike Hegman started over him, and we gathered that Hegman took over for Henderson in the starting role for a disciplinary reason. But of course, Thomas is back in there now. 3rd and 3 from the 44 for San Francisco with Schumann in a slot left. DeBerg is going to be unloaded. And DeBerg was hit by Dennis Thurman charging in. Then Henderson, but Thurman was the man who drilled him. Number 32. Dennis went to school at USC. So Landry had to like that blitz.
We call that a nickel dog. You come in with more people than they can pick up. He was lucky to even get the ball off.
So it is 4th and 4 from the 44. Wade Manning going all alone, and Danny Melville with a 39 average will be punting from about his own 33. Great effort there by Randy White to get through. And it goes flying out. Aaron Mitchell almost blocked it, but Willie Harper was there to pick him up at the last moment. So it is San Francisco 10 and Dallas 6.
A lot of people think using Federal Express is complicated. But really, it's so simple, even a vice president can do it.
Hello, Federal.
All you do is pick up the phone. We come to your office and pick up the package. Well, even a president can do that.
Hello, Federal.
In fact, using Federal Express is so simple that even a chairman of the board can do it.
Hello!
Federal Express, when it absolutely, positively has to be there overnight.
Antifreeze. You never think about it, or how it has to protect somebody beside you, or what could happen without it. Stranded, and no help for miles. Don't trust your luck. Don't trust the weather. Take out old, weak antifreeze now and put your trust in Prestone, too. More people trust Prestone than all other brands combined.
We made it.
More people trust Prestone. And when you flush your cooling system, trust Prestone Super Flush.
Next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern, the CBS Sports Spectacular brings you action in the ring with Howard Davis. Action on the rink with top American skaters vying for national honors. Action on the road with the Italian Grand Prix. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Dallas will put it in play, 1st and 10 from its own 23. San Francisco leading 10-6. 11 minutes and 6 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Well, it might be a day of upsets. Keynoted in Forest Hills, Tracy Austin defeated Chrissy Everett-Lloyd 6-4, 6-3. And remember, actually make it Flushing Meadows, and we'll be going to the U.S. Open tennis immediately after football. That's Robert Newhouse getting it out across the 25-yard line.
You know, we talk about the passing attack of both clubs. In the first half, the Cowboys netted 28 yards rushing, and the 49ers 37. So neither team has done much running the football. And it's going to go right down to that. I think they're going to have to throw to win or to lose.
A second down call for Roger Staubach with Dallas trailing San Francisco. 2nd and 5. Staubach to Dorsett. Dorsett inside, a good block by Herbert Scott, and he moved it out to the 35-yard line.
Now, Tom Landry's doing a smart thing. He's got 2 tight ends. He's forcing them to run the football.
And Bill Walsh, of course, seeing his young 49er ball club out in front, now the question is, can his defense hold together? Remember, they led as much as 9-0 last week against Minnesota and let it get away. And he has to be thinking about whether the 49ers have come of age in one game. So it's 1st and 10 from the 35. Hill wide right, Pearson wide left. And it's still Dorsett and Newhouse. Staubach going to the left side, and Billy Joe appeared to be a little surprised. Willie Harper was there with him, and he looked a little startled. Well, there's another upset as Tampa Bay upset Baltimore 29-26 in overtime. Neil O'Donoghue, a 31-yard field goal to win it. 2 weeks from now, we'll be in Tampa Bay. The Rams will be going against John McKay's crew.
They're tied for first with the Bears now. Both teams 2-0.
So 2nd and 10 on the Dallas 35. Little release to Newhouse, but he overthrew him in trying to get the ball over Willie Harper. Harper is 6'2", and Bunch was putting a rush on. Pearson in there now, and there goes Tony Hill to the wide right spot. Staubach out of the shotgun. Chased by Harper, and throws it, and it's out of the hands of Billy Joe Dupree. I don't know whether he was blinded by the sun, but it was right in his hand.
You know what I think? Now, Roger gets away from the rush here, and I think Dupree started to run with the ball before he had it. Let's see. See that? He didn't look at it. He started to turn and run before he had the ball.
He's had a tough day so far, has Billy Joe. So it is 4th and 10 from the Dallas 35-yard line. Freddie Solomon and Tony Dungy going deep, and Danny White standing on his own 20 to boot it out of there. 9:30 left in the third. It'll be Tony Dungy, and he will let it roll. Benny Barnes was right on top of him, and Barnes would have really gotten a lick in on the catch.
Benny, that's something you can't do. You can't let the football hit the ground and bounce and lose 15 yards. You got to signal for a fair catch.
RCA wants you to see the right color. Sunrise over the Grand Canyon. Does your television capture the color in all its intensity, in all its subtlety? Does it automatically show you the right shades of color? If not, wait till you see Color Track 1980. Color Track 1980, with 8 automatic color systems designed to lock even subtle shades of color on track. RCA is making television better and better.
I was thinking about buying one of those new compacts, $4,700, or maybe a little import, over $5,700. But then I had a better idea. Ford Fairmont, as much as $1,300 less, with lots of standard features. 5-passenger room for the family. Great gas mileage.
The kind you need today.
And handsome styling.
Every minute of every working day, someone chooses Fairmont's remarkable combination of values. Sedans, wagons, Futuras, America's proven value.
With 9 minutes and 19 seconds left to go in the third quarter, the San Francisco 49ers surprising Dallas and leading them 10-6. The lack of the fair catch by Tony Dungy has just cost San Francisco about 15 yards on the roll of the ball. They'll put it in play 1st and 10 from their own 13. O.J. Simpson and Wilbur Jackson, the running back. DeBerg wanted to throw to Simpson, who fell down, and he got back up, only to be drilled by D.D. Lewis. So O.J. fell down, and then when he got up again, D.D. Lewis sent him back down.
See, the Dallas defense is going to... He's going to turn this game around, I would think. They're playing good ball. The offense hasn't done a thing the second half. They're going to give the offense field position if they continue to play like this.
Well, that's a loss of 5 on the play. 2nd and 15, the ball spotted on the San Francisco 8-yard line. Solomon wide left, Schumann wide right. DeBerg has his man, O.J., tripped up by D.D. Lewis at the 15-yard line, and O.J. knows if Lewis hadn't have just gotten him at the ankle, he was gone.
When O.J. gets his timing down in a little better shape, they won't make that play on him. You'll be picking those legs up, and you'll be gone.
So it'll be 3rd down and 6 for San Francisco. The ball on the San Francisco 17-yard line. And DeBerg, who has been unsuccessful on 3rd down pass plays, is faced with just that. Looking out to Jackson, and Wilbur Jackson makes the 1st down as he carries the ball out to the 28-yard line. A big play.
Well, this is pretty good execution. Dumping the ball off. Now, the defender didn't have a good angle on him. And I like the way Jackson lowers the boom right here.
Yeah, Cliff Harris felt that one. It was Mike Hegman who did not have the angle and let him get away for the extra yardage. So a 3rd down play is complete to give San Francisco a little more drive and make it 1st and 10 on the San Francisco 28-yard line. 7:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. James Owens goes wide right in motion. DeBerg going deep for his tight end Clark, and it's broken up, and a big play. Benny Barnes just able to stick a finger in the fry because Clark looked like he had steps on him. But look at that play.
Ball throwing just a little short. You're better to overthrow than underthrow. They had both Clark, 87, and 20 going deep on it. He reads either one, takes the guy he thinks is open.
That Dwight Clark was a big man on campus at Clemson.
Up and over. Nice play by Benny Barnes. But I'd rather see him knock the ball down than tip it up.
Barnes is another man who knows the area. He went to Stanford. 2nd and 10 from the 28-yard line. James Owens is buried at the 30-yard line. Randy Hughes and Actually, Randy Cross was just outnumbered because Thurman, Stalls, Brunig, Hughes, they were all there, and only Randy Cross to block.
Now you see Owen lined up in the backfield that time. Previous play, he was a wide receiver.
That's what they really want him to play.
They do. They want to try to get advantage of that speed, take advantage of that speed he has.
So it'll be 3rd and 8. The ball on the San Francisco 30-yard line. 7 minutes and 4 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, and San Francisco leading 10-6. Freddie Solomon goes wide left, O.J. on a wing, and Schumann on the other wing, and in motion is Wilbur Jackson. DeBerg under a rush, and O.J. looked like he lost the ball as he lowered his head for whatever reason.
DeBerg did a good job there.
And then he's trying to catch it behind his back.
Turn around, catch the ball. They had the nickel blitz.
Mike Hegman was the man who rushed DeBerg. And O.J. as if to say, what are you going to do?
We beat Dallas one year on that. Billy Kilmer hit Mike Thomas on a pass, led to the winning score. It's a real gamble. You got to get the quarterback before he gets the ball off.
So on 4th and 8, Wade Manning is deep on the Dallas 30-yard line. Danny Melville gets his kick, and it's a beauty. Manning is buried after Bob Farrell just missed him, but Farrell tied him up just enough for the other Niners to come in. Watch, you'll see 38 go flying by. That's Bobby Farrell, who's usually first down under those punts.
More super values from Sears. The great menswear buys start here with the value dress shirt. Now just $6.99. You save $2. But don't stop there. Save $30 on this 4-piece vested suit. Now just $89. The coat, reversible vest, and 2 slacks make 6 great outfits. The value dress shirt and this 4-piece vested suit. Super looks, super values. Sears, where America shops for value.
Is to good friends.
The key's supposed to be under the steps.
I got it. Hey, here's a note. Gentlemen, my country estate is at your disposal. There might even be a little something in the refrigerator. Regards, Hank.
Let it be low and brown.
Low and brown. When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be low and brow.
Here's the Hank.
Wherever he is.
Low and brown.
Following the game, CBS Sports presents live coverage of the finals of the U.S. Open Tennis Championships. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
Well, we've had an upset in the world of tennis. Tracy Austin upsetting Chris Everett Lloyd. A reminder, as soon as our football game is over, we will join in progress the U.S. Open Tennis Championships, and McEnroe and Gerolaitis will be battling it out for the men. 1st and 10, Dallas on their own 35-yard line. Tony Hill in a slot left inside Drew Pearson. The running backs are Newhouse and Dorsett. Staubach looking and throwing left, and Tony Hill gets a bump, and he was bumped by Gerard Williams at the 44-yard line.
Here's the guy, 88 Pearson. We had to stop him first. We thought we had to double him. He's a fluid receiver. It's hard to knock off. Look at him catch that ball and put it away. He's the guy that Roger likes to go to in a clutch. You've got to stop him in the passing game first.
He was 3 for 57 yards prior to that pass, so he just picked up another 9. So Drew Pearson, as George mentioned, the man on the spot when they need the tough yardage. It's very close. He might have made the first down by the time they marked the ball. Let's see. It looked like they were marking it on the 44. Then they put it down right on the 45. So we'll see. Yep, they made it by an inch of leather, and it'll be 1st and 10. Staubach is now 13 for 22 and 173 yards, but he has not been able to get his ball club on the board yet. 2 field goals by Sepien. Staubach going over on the right side, and he overthrows Tony Hill. Cornelius right there with him. For those folks who might have tuned in a little late, San Francisco had Ray Wershing kick a 29-yard field goal. Sepien came back with a 23-yard field goal to tie it up. Then Sepien kicked a 51-yard field goal to give Dallas a 6-3 lead. But O.J. Simpson scored from the 1-yard line. Wershing kicked the point after, and San Francisco is trying to hold on to that 10-6 lead. 5:48 left to go in the third. 2nd and 10 from the 45. In motion is Jay Saldi. Robert Newhouse out across midfield, stymied and dropped by Dungy and also Tim Gray.
Well, Newhouse is a strong inside runner. He does a good job of hitting, keep driving. One man usually doesn't bring him down, the first man. See him hit and keep going, picks up a couple of more yards. Tough inside runner.
The ball is in San Francisco territory. 3rd down and 5 yards to go. Staubach trying to keep his drive going. He started on his own 35. Hardman trying to get in, got back. Tony Dorsett has Scott and Rafferty out in front of him. That's all he needed to pick up a good chunk of yardage before being knocked out of bounds. And boy, that is a nice sight to see a couple of guys pull and really move.
Yeah, really, it's a play off of a sort of a shuffle to the wingback coming around. It lets Dorsett do the thing he does well, run outside and turn on his speed. Use his racehorse ability.
So Herbert Scott and Tom Rafferty pulling and letting Dorsett open up. And Dorsett finally knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Tim Gray had to come up and give him a shove. And Dallas on a move. 1st and 10 on the San Francisco 35-yard line. Play action fake to Dorsett. Staubach down the middle, and it's got Tony Hill. And Hill is boxed in by Scott Hilton at the ankles and finally dropped.
Well, Rogers doing the things now that he does well and that are effective. A play-action pass. He's got the tight end coming across underneath. Hits Tony Hill on the stop pattern, which is the type of pass that's effective to throw against that defense rather than trying to go all the way deep and get a quick score.
Tony Hill now has caught 4 for 63 yards. As you see, Cleveland leading Kansas City 20-0 in the third. Brian Sipe having a pretty good day. Inches short of a 1st down.
Benny, here's an interesting down. 2nd and 1. You can do a lot of things here. You can go for the bomb. You can go play action. You can go for the 1st down.
Dallas is going to go back in the huddle.
It's a down that allows the offense a lot of options.
You can duck in another score. San Diego and Oakland figured to be high scoring, and San Diego leading 21-10 in the third. The 2nd and inches, really, for Roger Staubach. And it'll be Robert Newhouse. Scott Hilton came up, number 55, not to tackle him, but to hit him and slow him down. Ted Vincent finally dropped him, but he needed only less than a yard, and he got it. So they'll spot it at the 23-yard line.
Well, they did the safe thing, the sure thing, get the 1st down. They're having trouble moving the football. First things first, get the 1st down.
3:57 left to go in the third quarter. This drive started on the Dallas 35. Meanwhile, Seattle nosing Miami 10-9 in the third. 1st and 10 from the 23. Dorsett behind Newhouse, and Newhouse, the first man, is stacked up. He was trying to go behind a block from Pat Donovan, but it didn't quite materialize. Cedric Hartman doing a little good job of submarining, and Hilton also came in.
Well, in analyzing the Cowboys right now, it's Newhouse inside and Dorsett outside from the I formation.
So they picked up 1. It'll be 2nd and 9 on the 22 of San Francisco. Drew Pearson wide right, Tony Hill wide left. getting some pressure all alone in the end zone is Drew Pearson. So they put a blitz on, and Drew Pearson was out of sight.
Yeah, and it looked like the left corner slipped and fell.
Take another look at it, especially for the Drew Pearson Marching and Chowder Society. Tim Gray was coming in, so was Gerard Williams, and look at Pearson.
It looked like the left corner slipped and fell.
So Tom Landry back to leading.
That's the gamble you take when you go all out. It's a risky call. It's a big play one way or the other, usually.
So now Septien will try to make it Dallas 13 and San Francisco 10. The spot, the kick, it is good. Of course, Septien doesn't miss many. Last year, he kicked 46 out of 47. Dallas leading San Francisco 13 to 10.
Williams is over on the left side.
If we could take you through the plant to show you what is new and let you see what's going on and watch the things we do. If you could see the cars and trucks we're working on for you, you'd say incredible. Ford, that's incredible.
Introducing the incredible Ford Factory Tour. Come and see the incredible things we're doing to produce a new generation of more fuel-efficient cars and trucks.
If you could see tomorrow, the way it looks to us today, you'd say incredible. Ford, that's incredible.
To take the incredible Ford Factory Tour, write us for information.
The Dallas Cowboys won 65 yards in 8 plays, capped by a 22-yard scoring pass from Roger Staubach to Drew Pearson. Septien put the ribbon on it, and it is 13 to 10 Dallas with 2:58 left in the third quarter. Septien hitting under and squirting it off to the right out of bounds, so they'll penalize him 5 yards, and he'll kick off from the 30.
That looks like a harmless play, just kick over again, but it really gives the return team a big advantage. Now he's kicking off from the 30. This is where you can break it back.
One problem I wonder about, George, although they are teeing the ball up, but whether he is slipping at all on the baseball part of the infield.
Yeah.
That's the second time he's had that kind of a kick. He's actually kicking the ball almost second base on the shortstop side of second, and when he hits the dirt, it might be bothering him.
Let's watch Raphael on this kickoff.
We might also mention, last week, and not to equate St. Louis with San Francisco, but Dallas allowed 237 yards on the ground.
Yeah.
Cowboys haven't allowed that much in 9 years. So we'll see, as you mentioned earlier, the only way San Francisco can do it is in the air, but Dallas has been exploited on the ground. Let's watch Septien now as he leaves the grass and he hits the infield, whether it's bothering him. Well, he got his leg into that one pretty well, and it'll be James Owens from the 11 to the 25 and to the 27. Walt Downing out there trying to block for him. And so Owens, who is a threat with his great speed, gives San Francisco reasonable field position, brings it to the 32-yard line, and they'll put it in play 1st and 10. There's Steve DeBerg's numbers. Remember now, he is starting his 13th game for San Francisco, and he's only won 1. He is 13 for 19 as he brings them up to the line. 1st and 10 from the 32. Pitch back to O.J. Simpson. Randy Cross is blocking Hegman. And O.J. got out across the 35, and there's a flag. Might have been a late hit. And the late man was Cliff Harris, who is arguing right now with the back judge.
Well, sometimes that's difficult to stop your momentum. You come up. You don't intend to hit late. Here it is again. Here's O.J. cutting back. He's going down there. There's Cliff. Well, you might call that. I guess he did call it. It's a marginal call. He hit the grass, and then he hit O.J.
So to be 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. What days he had at Notre Dame. Joe Montana, the rookie who was a 3rd-round draft choice, who is just waiting. And check me on the count now. It'll be 2nd and 6 from the 36.
Did not call a penalty on that.
We saw the flag.
Yeah.
Evidently, they erased the flag. When Cliff Harris was arguing, they picked the flag up, and there was no penalty.
It would have been a fringe call. You know, when 85 comes in, we used to play pass. When Seal came in, he's got good speed to go deep, we'd play pass. When 81 was in there, we'd play run. McAfee. Let's see what they do. Let's watch 85 if we can.
From the 40-yard line, it's 3rd and 3 for San Francisco. DeBerg going over the middle. Freddie Solomon unable to hold on it, and it looked like DeBerg might have thrown it just a little too hard for Solomon to handle it.
So far this half, DeBerg is under pressure. You see that? He was throwing going down. He's had a good rush every play.
So Solomon unable to handle it. And the drive dies a boarding on the 40-yard line. So again, Wade Manning goes back, standing on his own 25-yard line. Dan Melville will be kicking from about his 30. Manning will let the ball hit, and it will go out of bounds inside the 30-yard line.
Flag on the play.
And there's a flag way back on about the 45-yard line. First down, automatic on a holding penalty charged against Dallas.
Big break. Big break. Boy, a lot of penalties today, especially against Dallas.
So the 3rd down pass to Solomon was no good, and then the 4th down punt is really a crusher against Dallas. We have 1 minute and 24 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter, and the Cowboys are leading San Francisco 13-10. The holding
while the ball is in the air.
Change of possession down. Let's see. They'll bring it out to about the 17-yard line. And Dallas will put it in possession 1st and 10.
Holding, number 25, receiving team, post-possession foul.
So on the change or after possession foul, Aaron Kyle was trying to set up some kind of a block. Dallas had the ball as it was going out of bounds. Kyle was guilty of the infraction. So Dallas still has the ball, but they do lose a few yards and take over 1st and 10 on their own 17. Drew Pearson is wide left. Newhouse and Dorsett. In motion is Jay Saldi. Tony Dorsett with Burton Wallace and Tom Rafferty out in front. Scott Hilton brought him down at the 25-yard line.
Yeah. Well, here's a play. It's a sweep, pulling both guards. Dorsett going wide. He's about ready to break one of these. He's got pretty good blocking there. 87 Saldi had a good block. He's just about ready to break one of those loose for a long gainer.
So he picked up 8. Jay Saldi coming out of the ball game. Saldi, 4 years out of South Carolina. He's a captain of the special teams. He broke his right forearm last year. He's a free agent that made Dallas in 76. Okay, 2nd and 2. Dorsett. Good play by Ted Vincent from Wichita State. He fought off the block, slipped it off, and brought his man down. Big play.
What Vincent's going to give the 49ers, number 75 here, is a little more action. He's much more active than 72 Reuben Vaughn. Got rid of the blocker, came in and made the play.
He's bigger than Vaughn as well. He's 6'4", 265, and he's only 23 years old. Third-round draft choice last year for Cincinnati, so he might develop into quite a ball player. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. Dallas 13, San Francisco 10. We now pause for a word from your local station.
This fall, meet two aspiring janitors, two brothers who will bumble, stumble, and fumble their way into your hearts. Michael Keaton and Jim Belushi are two working stiffs. Saturdays.
This is CBS.
There's one of the big numbers, 12 penalties against the Cowboys for 95 yards. And on that last penalty, there was a difference between a change of possession and a post-possession foul, which is why Dallas kept the ball.
The officials had a little trouble making their minds up on that call.
As well as a little earlier, calling a late hit and then wiping it out with Cliff Harris. So it is 3rd and 5 from the Dallas 22. Crosby is in a slot left inside Pearson. Preston Pearson on a wing, and Staubach from the shotgun, and got it away. A flag on the play. Willie Harper was going with Preston Pearson, and that's where apparently the foul was committed.
Well, shotgun formation. Throw to the guy he wants to go to, number 26, Preston Pearson. Good catch. 2 flags on the play. You know, that 95 yards in penalties is more yardage than any back has made today.
Oh, you bet. The high runners so far, well, you have 48 yards for Tony Dorsett.
Pass interference, number 26, offense.
So Preston Pearson was pushing off Willie Harper, and he is guilty of the infraction.
That's a call that can go either way.
Miami and Seattle, the last time we saw it, Miami leading 12-10 now to update that one in the third quarter. 3rd and 16 from the 12. Staubach loading up the shotgun. Roger down the left side. He's got Tony Hill, and Hill is stopped at the 30-yard line by Eric Johnson.
Got.
So a 3rd and 16, and like that, they pick it up.
Oh, from a defensive standpoint, it really gnaws at you when they can pick up that long yardage.
Eric
good
Johnson, the defender.
Right. Good protection. One-on-one. He went to the one-on-one receiver. See, no chance to break it up. By the way, that Miami score, 4 field goals for 12 points.
1st and 10. The ball is moved out to the Dallas 34-yard line. Newhouse and Dorsett are still in there, and here goes Tony. And he's going to be pushed out by Harper and Dungy.
You get the feeling that Dallas can explode at any minute and throw when they want to and not worry about the rush too much.
Dorsett, bad toe and all. They said he was about ready to play, but not on the artificial surface in St. Louis. The shoe wouldn't work on it. But here at Candlestick, natural grass, he is really working. He has now carried the ball 16 times and picked up 52 yards. 2nd and 6 on the 38. And now Dorsett is on the end of a pass from Staubach, and he gets to the 44, and that is the first down area, so it just depends on whether they spotted it. It would appear that he picked it up. Gerard Williams and Tom Sebring brought him down.
Yeah, Sebring just came in for Willie Harper. Harper went off holding his arm.
And they'll spot it good enough for the first down for Dallas. The big play on this drive, if it continues to be a drive, was that 3rd and 16 pass that was complete.
You know, you can't see what Roger did on that last down, but the 49ers rotated to the left. Strong to their left. He threw to the weak side, to the back on a hook pattern. Good, sound football.
1st and 10 on the Dallas 44-yard line. Pearson left. Saldi, the tight end, on the right side. Saldi in motion left. And a pitch back to Newhouse. He got by a dive by Sebring and runs out of bounds. So Tom Sebring on a dog broke through, but Newhouse able to get around him. Dan Buns finally running him out of bounds.
I think Willie Harper's their best linebacker. Not having him in there hurts them.
There's a Niner hurt, and it's Jim Webb.
He's their strong side linebacker. Plays the run and the pass very well.
Big Jimmy Webb.
Oh, here he comes.
And here comes Harper. It is 13-10 Dallas with 12:54 left in the game. And for the intermission at halftime, it was Camelot here by the Bay as San Francisco was leading 10-6. Staubach, for the 47th time in his career now, has passed for over 200 yards. Straight ahead to Newhouse, and then he decides to go outside, and Tony Dungy wraps him up just shy of midfield. Boy, Dungy's a workhorse. A free agent who made Pittsburgh in '77, the only free agent to make the team.
You know, we haven't had an interception today, have we? Either team. That's interesting. With the number of passes they've thrown, there haven't been any interceptions. When you mentioned Dungy, I thought of that ball that he had right in his hands.
Yeah, and remember last year he led Pittsburgh with a half a dozen. So it is 3rd and 5 from the 49 of Dallas. Hardiman turned him around, but he had gotten rid of the ball, and it is incomplete. Tim Gray on the ground was trying to make an over-the-shoulder catch. He led Kansas City with 6 interceptions after being traded by St. Louis. Tough catch, but he had it, and it went right through his hand.
The 49er defense deserves a lot of credit today. They're staying in there.
And it's a young defense, guilty of a lot of mistakes, and they have pretty well battled back despite them, as Danny White will stand on his own 33 ready to kick. Freddie Solomon and Tony Dungy are the return men for the 49ers. And a fair catch by Freddie Solomon. Dungy is going to pick it up with flags on. Solomon did not want any part, and it looked like Dallas actually brought the ball into the end zone.
The ball should be from where we see it on about the 1 or 2 yard line.
Right. There's the fair catch by Solomon.
We got another conference. Well,
he lost his effort as it rolled in. And it was Thomas Henderson was the man involved with the ball, and then Dungy, figuring it might go off, decided he better pick it up. And look at that argument. So we mentioned earlier, the rule book is going to figure prominently in '79, maybe more so than a while, with so many changes. Not that this is a change of a rule. The officials are front and center once again.
Should come out to the 20. Yeah.
Illegal participation, number 56, kicking team, declines, first down.
So illegal participation by Thomas Henderson. It is so ruled. There's Henderson touching the kick and forcing it into the end zone.
Usually on that type of thing.
We'll be right back.
Gentlemen, tonight we're brought together here by two teams we all love. Good food and light beer from Miller. I want to take this opportunity myself to tell you. I tell you, I don't get no respect.
Gaston, je dis saignant. Si elle est pas saignante,
What is it?
Meatloaf sandwich and a light.
Gentlemen, we all know and appreciate light has 1/3 less calories than a regular beer, and it's less filling.
But the best thing is it tastes great.
Less filling. Gentlemen.
Hey, Deacon, pass the roll. Hey, Charlie, that's my beer.
No, this is by your broccoli.
No, this is my broccoli. That's my beer.
What's wrong with you guys?
Hey, Bubba, you want the beans?
Ooh, you gonna eat all that?
Just showing off.
Gentlemen, in closing, I'd like to think I speak for all of us when I say if it wasn't for light, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Hey, you're profound.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
So we have 11 minutes and 52 seconds left to go in the ball game. Dallas leading San Francisco 13-10. Miami leading Seattle 12-10 in the fourth, and San Francisco putting it in play from its own 21st and 10. Freddie Solomon wide left. Jackson and Simpson, the running backs, play action, and DeBerg going deep. For Solomon, no good. Aaron Kyle was right there battling him for the ball.
Now that's good defense by Aaron Kyle. And this is also a good call by DeBerg. However, the ball is thrown a little bit short. You want your receiver to go get the ball. Make him run for the ball. He still should have had it.
Freddie Solomon took a lot of heat here in San Francisco last year. A lot of folks were suggesting that he dropped a lot more passes than he should have, that he was vowing to change things in '79, but it's been a struggle for him. So it is 2nd and 10 from the 20. Intercepted by D.D. Lewis, and D.D. Lewis has it on the pickoff inside the 15-yard line. And there is that interception we were lacking for the day, George.
Yeah, they dogged. D.D. Lewis, 50, is dogging there. They ran him. Here comes 54, Randy White, running him out of the pocket. He's trying to hit number 40, Jackson. He just rifled the ball in low, and D.D. was there. That's a big play for Dallas. The defense, Dallas's defense has turned it around.
So D.D. Lewis, with a critical interception, gives it 1st and 10 from the 14 for Dallas. Pitch back to Dorsett. He just did get back across the line of scrimmage. It's a question now if the San Francisco defensive unit can somehow regroup.
What you're thinking here defensively is the worst they get out of this is a field goal, because we're still in the ball game, 16 to 10. You're trying to hold them to a field goal. That's good defense.
And for Bill Walsh, of course, is hoping that somehow they can stop this high-powered Dallas machine that has been on the quiet side all day. Staubach pumping once, then going into the corner to Hill, who is long out of the end zone.
Well, he just threw that away. He was rushed. Threw it away where it was safe, wouldn't be intercepted. Smart play by Roger.
Staubach is 17 for 29, 232 yards, 1 touchdown. Remember when Drew Pearson was all alone?
All of Rogers' plays are called for him. They're all sent in and out with a tight end or a back. He has the option to audibilize, to rub that play off that's called in the huddle, and call something else.
So third and 9 yards on the 13. Preston Pearson in at running back with Tony Dorsett. And to Billy Joe Dupree, and the tight end took it away from Tony Dungy, and the big man busted loose for the touchdown.
You know, it looked like he caught the back half of the ball. Roger has good protection, and he drills it right in there. Watch if he catches the back half of the ball.
Dungy going for the ball, missed it, and that left Dupree all alone.
Look at that. He's got those big, long claws, and he made up his mind he was going to go into the end zone.
He had to fight off Willie Harper to go barreling into the end zone. So Billy Joe Dupree, who scored 9 touchdown passes for Dallas last year, picks one up now. And coming through is Ted Vincent. So it is 19-10 Dallas. And the critical play, of course, the interception by D.D. Lewis. That set it all up. Here's another look at that pass to Billy Joe.
Good protection. Rifles it in there. Now watch Dupree. He actually caught the back end of the ball. You have to have big, strong hands to do that. Long fingers.
3-4 on the kickoff.
So Septien trying to make it 20-10. The kick is up, and it is no good. So Septien, who missed only one all last year, misses one today. And the Cowboys leading 19-10.
I never worry about what brand name part my mechanic puts on my car. That doesn't make me a bad guy. I go to a professional mechanic I can trust, so I trust the parts he uses. He uses Mopar. It means nothing to me, but it means a lot to him. Mopar fits all American-made cars, foreign cars too, and they're used by professional mechanics all over the world. If the professional trusts Mopar, I trust Mopar. Does he make me happy? He makes it his business.
Trust your car to Mopar.
Radio Shack has slashed the price on one of our top-of-the-line stereo systems. Right now, save $310 on this impressive realistic hi-fi. You get this quality AM/FM stereo receiver, a pair of realistic tower speakers, and this precision belt drive turntable, all for only $579. A great entertainment bargain and a beautiful addition to your home. The sale price realistic stereo system, just $579, only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
Next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern, the CBS Sports Spectacular brings you action in the ring with Howard Davis. Action on the rink with top American skaters vying for national honors. Action on the road with the Italian Grand Prix. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Don't forget Howard Davis putting his perfect 11-0 mark on the line against the Termites. Maurice Termite Watkins on the CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. San Francisco was penalized 5 yards, which they exact after the point after. So Septien kicked from the 40-yard line. James Owens will handle it on the 3, to the 20, and to about the 24. So San Francisco, with 10 minutes and 28 seconds left in the game, down by 9. And Steve DeBerg carrying a heavy load now, trying to bring the Niners back.
Now here's where the Dallas defense plays pass defense and pass rush. 10-28. They're going to have to throw the ball to get back in the ball game. This is what you like on defense.
Schumann and Solomon go in a slot left. Lenville Elliott is in there with Wilbur Jackson at the running back. DeBerg has Elliott to the 45, to midfield, to the Dallas 45. Lenville Elliott coming out of the backfield. And Hughes and Harris brought him down.
Elliott, last week, had a big game. He's going to help this ball club. He's a good receiver. He can block. He's a good hard runner. He took the position away from 50, D.D. Lewis.
So San Francisco striking quickly for a sizable amount of yardage out to the Dallas 46-yard line, 1st and 10. Plenty of time, 9:47. but they have to move and use it. Second man is O.J., and he's grabbed, and down he goes. And the man who hit him is Bruce Thornton, the rookie out of Illinois. Thornton backs up Larry Cole.
Last week, the 49ers got behind 21-9 and came back and took the lead. Same situation.
Big fella, 6'5", 266, only 21 years old. Bruce Thornton is a saxophonist who declined music scholarships to play football. And he was a second-team academic All-American. He's quite a prospect. 2nd and 9. DeBerg has got his man Schumann inside the 35-yard line. Barnes brought him down.
That's the type of passing game, possession passing. 5-step passing. You don't need a lot of protection for it. It's fairly safe. Get the first down.
So they picked up 12. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 34. And DeBerg now is 15 for 24, 177 yards, but he has thrown the only interception of the day, and it was a killer. O.J. And O.J. moving nicely is inside the 30. He's running well, isn't he, George?
He's looking better. He had a nice hole there. Good block in there.
John Ayers has been springing him. Ayers, the guard on the left side, pulling and leading his way. Another report on that Miami game. They're leading Seattle 19-10 in the 4th.
Same score we have.
Paid attendance, 56,728. 2nd and 3 from the 27 of Dallas. Jackson, nowhere. D.D. Lewis met him head on. San Diego and Oakland should be a dandy, and San Diego under Don Coryell leading Oakland and Tom Flores 30-10 in the 4th quarter.
There comes Seals in. That usually indicates pass. 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3 from the 27. And, of course, DeBerg, to make this drive go, has to hit and hit quickly. 7 minutes, 16 seconds left in the game. 19-10 Dallas. Solomon is left, Schumann is right. Inside handoff to O.J. And he did not make it. And he was juggling that handoff.
Yes, he was.
You like that play?
Well, I'd rather throw the ball. I think in that down, I would rather throw the ball. Oh, they got to go for it, yeah.
The crowd is saying go. Walsh has already shown he will gamble. Joe Montana and Ray Wershing are coming in, which means Walsh will not gamble.
Oh, they're going to kick a field goal. Well, they've got about 2. It's 4th and 2, so that's the best call.
So the line of scrimmage is the 26. The hold will be from the 34. A 44-yard field goal attempt is not Wershing's distance. He has not been effective at all from this far out. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So Wershing, who kicked one from 48 last year, kicks one today to make it a little closer now. It's Dallas 19, 49ers 13.
Boy, did I save money on this hat.
Yeah?
We smart shoppers compare prices.
Wish we could do that with our homeowner's insurance.
Compare with Allstate.
Compare?
Bring in your homeowner's policy and compare rates. Odds are Allstate might save you some money.
We can save you some money.
It does pay to compare.
Oh, it sure does. Love your hat. Oh.
Hey, where'd you get the hat?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
And that's a promise from us, the Good Hands people.
Nancy Hamilton will cross our path 8 times today. We're S-Mark. We own the companies that supply her peanut butter and turkeys, rubber gloves, and baby nursers, fertilizer, oil filters and motor oil, gasoline. We're S-Mark, a big company with a big stake in Nancy Hamilton and in you.
50 yards in 7 plays, capped by a 44-yard field goal by Ray Wershing, his second field goal of the day. And suddenly you have a touchdown separating the two. It is Dallas 19, San Francisco 13, and Wershing kicking off. He hooks it, and it's Ron Springs at the 9. Springs at the 20. And Schumann drags him down as he crosses the 30-yard line. Ron Springs, a little terrier out of Ohio State. Although we use the word little advisedly, he's 6'1" and 200-pounder.
I like the way he runs, Vinny. Oh, he's going to break some, no question about it.
He was on the 440 sprint relay team at Ohio State. And, of course, he's already made headlines with that 30-yard touchdown pass last week to Tony Hill that helped beat St. Louis. Kansas City leading Cleveland 21-20 in the fourth. So some tough ones. First and 10 Dallas on the Cowboy 32. Staubach going to the left side, and he has Tony Hill, and he's knocked out by Gerard Williams.
Well, you see Dallas now has to move the ball, keep the clock going. Staubach opened up with a short out in front of the right corner.
That's what we have left in the ball game. In a game that saw San Francisco take a 10-6 lead into halftime, Dallas scored the only points in the third quarter. And now in the fourth quarter, Dallas scored 6 but missed the point after. Then the 49ers had the field goal by Wershing, so it's 19-13 Dallas. A second down call for Staubach, 2nd and 6. And Dorsett gets a good block from Tom Rafferty, and then there are extra 49ers to finally make it. Rafferty making a good block.
Yeah, they threw on first down, ran on second down. They're mixing their calls pretty good.
It was 2nd and 6. 3rd and about 3, as you see Bill Walsh talking to his quarterback, Steve DeBerg. They bring in Dwayne Board, and his job is to rush. So we'll see how Staubach can handle number 76. Roger got it off to Big Cosby, and Cosby at 6'6", who played football up here at Santa Clara, the tight end, brought down by Tim Gray. They were thinking about making him a tackle. He's so big at 6'6" and 230.
What the 49ers are doing in an effort to compensate for their lack of pass rush, they're dogging, and Rodgers reading the dogs pretty well and picking up the first down with stop-like patterns to all of his receivers.
And with 4 minutes and 6 seconds left to go in the ball game, Dallas leading 19-13, strongly in possession, 1st and 10 from the Dallas 49. Hill is wide left, Pearson wide right, Crosby is on the right side. Robert Newhouse and Hilton slowed him down, and Buns finally brought him down.
You notice Newhouse had 2 hands on the ball. He's a sure-handed runner.
By the way, Newhouse needed 40 yards rushing to become the 3rd greatest rusher in Dallas history, passing Walt Garrison. As of right now, he has 28, so he's still got a way to go. Second down for Staubach and 6 from the 47. Newhouse ridden down as he got to the 45-yard line. Willie Harper tried to climb his tree.
Well, that clock keeps running. That's to their advantage.
2:47 left in the game.
Dallas's advantage.
Ball on the San Francisco 44-yard line, with 3rd and 3.
They can't give them another first down. They want to get back in.
Pearson right, Hill left. Dorsett and Newhouse. Staubach on to the right side, overthrows Drew Pearson. Pearson was not quite sure where the ball was. Charles Cornelius was right there with him, and so Danny White will punt on 4th down, and Staubach walks off 20 for 33, 258 yards and 2 touchdowns. Freddie Solomon and Tony Dungy going deep.
Now, Benny, you got to make a decision. Do you go for a block or do you go for a return? I'd go for a block.
2 minutes and 26 seconds left in the game. And Danny White ready to kick. He'll be kicking from his own 45-yard line. Good snap. Danny with plenty of time, and he hangs it down the right side. Fair catch by Freddie Solomon, and it hit on the 16-yard line and kicked out of bounds. So San Francisco with 2 minutes and 19 seconds left and down by 6.
Some guys never learn. They're still taking it on the chin. Gotcha. Norelco offers the Norelco rotary razor. Not 1 or 2 blades, but 36 blades inside 3 adjustable floating heads and a unique shaving angle for a very close shave without a nick or cut. So say hello to the Norelco rotary razor and say goodbye to Gotcha.
Take care of your car at Kmart.
Your Kmart Automotive Center has the answer to your muffler problem. The zinc-coated, double-wrapped Kmart Arrestor muffler. Have it installed by Kmart, and if anything goes wrong, they'll replace it free, as long as you own your American-made car. The Arrestor. Zinc-coated and double-wrapped like the best. And best of all, Kmart price. Get it at Kmart Automotive Centers across the USA, where quality auto products are Kmart priced.
This young man took a summer job in this plush resort hotel, but he never expected this. It's The Last Resort, premiering Wednesdays this fall on CBS.
Dallas 19, San Francisco 13. 2 minutes and 19 seconds left to go in the ball game, and San Francisco will put it in play. 1st and 10 from the San Francisco 16. Solomon is wide left, Schumann wide right. It's Jackson and Simpson, the running back. DeBerg with some time to Solomon, no good.
Well, Solomon had a chance to catch that ball. Dallas is in a 34 defense, which is good to stop these passes to the backs, the short passing game.
Just to complicate matters, when we mentioned that DeBerg had time, there's a holding penalty against San Francisco. One of the problems for Freddie Solomon is the fact that he came here in a deal that sent Delvin Williams to Miami. So they expected a lot from Solomon, and he's been missing a lot of passes instead, so the Wolves have been on him ever since he came here.
Number 67, offense.
So Ron Singleton, guilty of the holding infraction there. He is trying to keep Martin out of there.
Yeah, he's got him by the arm.
So 1st down and 18 yards to go. Just beyond Clark. Dwight Clark, the intended receiver, and Benny Barnes right there with him.
Going back to that previous play, the holding on number 67, it was a longer developing play. DeBerg hasn't had many problems when he's gone to the intermediate and short passing game. He can get the ball off. Now when he goes to the longer type of pass, they have difficulty keeping those defensive linemen out of there.
2 minutes and 8 seconds left to go in the game. The Cowboys